I discovered my family planned a girls-only beach trip on my card, so I let their world collapse. Hey, ever get treated like a walking wallet by your own family? Yeah, same. I was the only guy in a house full of women who called everything girls only, except when bills were due. They left me out of dinners, trips, birthdays, but always remembered me when rent was late or something needed fixing. I stayed quiet for years, kept helping, kept showing up until they crossed the line one too many times. So, I pulled the plug, and their whole world started falling apart. Here's how it went down. So I, Nathan, 28 years old, male, and my entire family, at least the part that talks to me, is all women. My mom, 2 older sisters, Amanda and Taylor, 31 and 33 years old, females. 3 aunts, 2 are my mom's sisters, and 1 married in. Basically, I was raised in a chick cult, and not the cool kind where they actually like you. My dad dipped after a nasty divorce when I was a kid, and no one has heard from his side of the family since. So yeah, I grew up in a house where I was the only dude and constantly got the "you are just like your father" passive digs if I ever disagreed with anything. Mom always had this switch, sweet 1 minute, cold the next if you did not fall in line. Anyway, a few years ago, my mom and her sisters started doing these girls-only weekends. It kicked off with some movie, The Avengers or something, and I guess it was a blast because they started doing outings every couple of weeks after that like clockwork. I did not care at first. I am not the type to get in anyone's way or make a fuss. I live alone, got a solid job, my own space, and hobbies. If they want to do brunch and gossip, go for it. But then it started snowballing. What started as just girls' movie night became, let us go to the zoo, let us do dinner, let us do a spa day, let us go bowling, even a baseball game at one point. Not kidding. Half of those things are not even girly to begin with, but still no invite for me. And every time they posted pictures in the group chat or raved about how fun it was, I would just leave a thumbs up emoji and scroll on. I tried to act like it did not bother me. The thing is, I am not some distant cousin or random family friend. I am their son, their brother, and I am the one helping them out more than anyone else. I have been giving my mom money every month for years to help with bills. My younger aunt needed help with a car payment. I spotted her. One of my sisters got laid off for 3 months, and guess who paid her rent? Me. I have never thrown it in their face either. I was raised to help family, even if they are annoying sometimes, but they sure do not treat me like I matter. My sisters, though, are a whole different story. My mom acts like they are royalty. Every time one of them does something basic, like land a job or cook a lasagna, it is this whole thing, group texts blowing up with, "Proud of you, girl," or, "You are amazing, babe." I bought my mom a new fridge last year after hers died, and she told me, "That is nice," like I was some random neighbor lending a hand. And yeah, I know maybe I sound bitter, but would not you be? Imagine being the one guy in a family full of women, doing everything you can to support them because you know you are the man, and still being treated like a backup plan. Like if I dropped off the face of the earth, the only thing they would miss is the money. The weirdest part is, they act like they are so inclusive and loving. That is their whole vibe, sisterhood, women supporting women, ride or die energy. But they have literally built this little circle where I am not welcome unless it is Thanksgiving or someone needs a ride to the airport. It got more obvious around year 2 of the girls-only thing. They would plan stuff right in front of me. I would be sitting in the living room at my mom's house while they are talking about brunch plans or an upcoming trip, and not once would they turn to me and say, "Hey, wanna come?" Not even a fake invite, just full-on pretending like I am invisible. One time I tried joking about it. I said, "Damn, I guess I need to grow my hair out and change my name to be part of the club." Crickets. One of my aunts did this forced laugh. My mom did not even look up from her phone. It is like the second I bring up being excluded, I am either ignored or told I am making things about me. Which, side note, is exactly what they used to say to my dad before he left. So, yeah, maybe I am like him. I guess what really messed me up is that I kept giving them the benefit of the doubt. I kept thinking maybe they just do not realize how it feels. Maybe it is not intentional. Maybe I am reading too much into it. But after 2 years of the same crap, no invites, no appreciation, just straight up acting like I am a second-class member, I stopped making excuses for them. It is not even just about being left out. It is the attitude, the entitlement, the way they treat me like a walking wallet and background character. And yet, they bend over backwards for each other. One of my sisters wanted help redecorating her living room, and 3 of them dropped everything and showed up with paint swatches. I offered to help fix my mom's dryer and got told, maybe let the professionals handle it. Cool, got it. So yeah, at this point the girls-only thing was not just a cute theme anymore. It was an excuse. It became a way of telling me I do not belong, that I am not one of them and never will be, which would be fine if they did not also rely on me for everything when things go south. I did not speak up right away. I kept it all in. But deep down, I knew something had to give. I was either going to suck it up forever, or finally call it for what it was: favoritism, entitlement, and disrespect. And I might have been raised to be the nice guy of the family. But even I have a limit. I did not reach that limit yet, not then, but it was getting close. Anyway, so mid-January rolls in, and I am wrapping up work on a Saturday when I realize I have not heard anything about Aunt Lisa's birthday. Normally by now I would have gotten one of those reservations at 7 messages followed by some overpriced menu screenshots. But it is radio silence. Weird. I text my sister. I text my mom and she replies 5 hours later with, "We already did something last weekend. Lisa is going out of town." No heads up, no invite, no nothing. I ask, "Wait, you all already did her birthday dinner?" She says, "Yeah, just a little girls' night." Right now, here is the thing. I do not care about dinner. It is not the food, it is not the aunt, it is the pattern. I am being told again that I do not need to be there. They went to that steakhouse downtown, the same place I introduced them to back in 2019. Funny how that becomes girls only when they are enjoying the perks I gave them. And this time, I did not sit there wondering what I did wrong. I just filed it under, "You all really think I am disposable, huh? What made it worse?" I had already bought her a gift. I took time out of my week to go get her this niche herbal tea set she mentioned once, just in passing, during a random conversation in the fall. Remembered it, got it, wrapped it, card included. I do not half-ass stuff like this. I just believe in doing right by people even when they barely register you exist. Dropped it at her house like it was some damn Amazon delivery. No call, no hug, just a thanks text a day later. That was the moment it shifted for me. Not because of the dinner, not even the gift. It was realizing I am the afterthought. I am the guy who gets remembered after the fun is done and only because I might bring a gift. I did not vent. I did not argue. I did not guilt-trip anyone because I understood what gets respect in this family. No, it is not effort. It is not sacrifice. It is being part of their clique, the girl club, the inner circle. If you do not fit the mold, you do not get the credit. It does not matter what you do for them behind the scenes. That does not get posted about. That does not get thank you texts. That gets ignored. So when people ask why I did not say anything earlier, it is because I did not want to sound petty. I let them have their girls' nights, their spa days, their inside jokes. I was not trying to crash their party. But now, it is not just girl time. It is family time, minus the one guy they do not feel like including. That week, I made a decision. No more extra effort. I was not going to chase inclusion or bend over backwards trying to earn something they were never going to give me. Respect should not be a reward for shutting up and giving more. So, I pulled back a bit, not dramatically, just started saying no a little more. My aunt asked if I could help her fix her broken screen door. I told her I was tied up. My mom needed help figuring out her insurance portal again. I told her to call the company. My sister asked if she could borrow money for the 3rd time this year. I told her, not right now. You would think I burned their house down. I got a passive-aggressive, "Some people change when they get money," text from my mom 2 days later. I did not even respond. What I realized is they do not just expect me to help. They count on it. They feel entitled to my time, my money, my attention, but not my presence, not my voice, not my seat at the table. I am good enough to fund the family, but not good enough to hang with it. So, no, I did not care about the steak dinner. I cared that I was the only one ever left out. I cared that they did not even see it as wrong. And trust me, I was already noticing them gearing up for something else. Talk about a summer escape had already started floating around in the chat. They called it just a little beach trip. Nothing big, but I knew exactly where it was headed. So, usually around March, the women in my family start buzzing about the yearly beach trip. It is a tradition, week-long rental, everyone brings food. Some do nothing but post selfies pretending they cooked. And I, of course, do most of the heavy lifting, literally. And financially, I have been covering the house deposit and sometimes more because, being the responsible guy in the family apparently means you were also the designated ATM. But this year, nothing, not a word. The group chat was weirdly quiet. At first, I figured maybe they were scaling back, but then I started seeing things. Instagram posts with captions like "Summer is calling," shopping bags with beach gear, vacation body countdowns from my sisters like they were training for a photo shoot. Even my aunt asked me casually if I still had that big cooler. No mention of the actual trip, just sneaky little breadcrumb clues. I did not need Sherlock Holmes to piece it together. They were planning the beach trip, the same one I usually bankroll, the same one we all agreed last year was such a great tradition. Only difference now, apparently, I did not make the cut. Now here is where it gets wild. Back in December, we had this throwaway conversation after Thanksgiving where I joked, "I guess I will cover the beach house again so you guys do not end up in a shack with no air conditioning." They laughed like I was doing stand-up and said things like, "You are the best and we will owe you one." That is it. That was the full extent of the planning meeting, and apparently that was good for them to move forward. Like I was fully locked in as the unpaid sponsor, planning the trip, choosing the house, even putting down my name for the booking, but never once bothering to tell me they were turning it into a girls-only event. I found out the final detail through a comment one of my aunts dropped on my sister's post. "So excited for our beach week. Thank you again for reserving it under Nathan." I swear you could hear the record scratch in my head. So let me get this straight. They are taking a vacation without me, on my tab, using my name, and had zero intention of telling me until the deposit went through. That is not family. That is organized theft and flip-flops. At this point, I was not even angry. It was actually kind of hilarious, like watching toddlers try to pull off a bank heist with crayons and a fake identification. Just dumb enough to be bold. Now, I could have blown up the group chat. I could have called everyone out and gone nuclear. But why bother? They do not listen when I talk. They only listen when I act. So I did what any logical guy would do. I logged into the reservation portal, canceled the pending booking, and removed my card from the account. No warning, just poof. The fallout came quick. Within 24 hours, I got the first wave of text messages. They started light, confused. "Hey, something is wrong with the payment." Then came the passive-aggressive wave. "I thought you said you would handle it," followed by my personal favorite. "We already told the kids we were going. This is not fair." Fair? You're booking a vacation behind my back, using my card and not inviting me because I was not born with the right plumbing. And you are talking about fair? But I did not respond. Not because I was sulking or trying to be dramatic, but because silence is a full sentence. They wanted to pretend I did not exist. Fine. I returned the favor quietly, efficiently. Then, just to drive the point home, I booked a mountain cabin for the same week. I took a couple of buddies. No announcements, no revenge post. Just a photo of us grilling on the deck, laughing about something dumb, fire pit in the background, peace in the air. You know, real vacation energy. One where no one expects you to foot the bill and still wait outside the gate. Apparently, that image alone triggered a meltdown. I did not see the group chat fallout in real time because I had it on mute, but one of my cousins sent me a screenshot later. Full panic mode. They had no rental, no backup plan. Turns out when you burn bridges with the guy who books everything and pays for it, the vacation fairy does not magically show up to save you. Still, I kept it classy. No digs, no I told you so. Just silence and s'mores at my cabin while they scrambled like a broke reality show cast trying to build a vacation out of vibes and borrowed beach towels. And here is the sickest part, none of them apologized. Not one. They tried to twist it like I had flaked, like it was my fault for not reminding them that using my name and card requires my actual approval. The entitlement is Olympic level at this point. They do not respect me, but they expect me to show up as the invisible sponsor of their fun. And when I do not, suddenly I am the one causing problems. No, they wanted a girls' trip. They got one, just not the deluxe edition they were used to because that version required me. So after the whole vacation debacle, I did not make a scene. I did not write long messages explaining myself or drop dramatic one-liners in the group chat. I just stopped responding. No last straw speech, no storming out. I cut the cord the same way a contractor cuts power to a condemned building, quiet, final, and with zero concern about what is still running inside. And for a while I was almost convinced they got the message. The group chat was dry. No "can you help with" texts, no fake invitations, just complete silence, which for my family was like hearing a dog not bark when someone is at the door. It did not feel peaceful, it felt loaded, like they were regrouping. Then came the couch test. My older sister sent a one-liner Monday morning, "Hey, any chance you can help me carry my new couch upstairs? The delivery guys will not do stairs." No greeting, no check-in, just right back to the same entitled tone like I had hit pause, not stop. I did not reply. I read it while biting into a breakfast burrito and kept scrolling. Tuesday, Aunt Lisa texted with some, "Hey, sweetie fluff," and a request to help dispute a credit card charge. She said the website was confusing and she did not want to call anyone. I sent her back, "The number on the back of the card still works." Nothing after that. Wednesday morning, I got the call. Now, for context, my mom only calls when someone dies or when she wants something complicated that she cannot text about. So, when I saw her name pop up, I picked up more out of curiosity than concern. She did not waste a second. "Your sister's car got totaled this morning," she blurted out. "She is in the hospital. It is bad. They are saying she needs surgery. Her leg is really messed up. We are trying to get the money together, but it is tight." No hello, no build-up, just a direct pipeline to panic. I paused. Something did not sit right. For starters, she did not say which sister, not their name, not which hospital, not even the usual dramatic voice she puts on when she is actually shaken. So I asked flat, where is she? St. Thomas, she replied too quickly. They will not let anyone in right now because of all the scans. They are being strict about access. Still did not say a name. I told her I would call the hospital directly. Her tone shifted hard. No, do not do that. She is in and out. They will not be able to confirm anything. It is too soon. I did not argue. I just said, all right, and hung up. Then I opened Instagram. I checked both my sister's pages. My older one had not posted in a day, which was not unusual. But my younger sister, she just uploaded a photo of a cappuccino with her name spelled wrong on the cup and the caption, "Baristas are never going to get it right." Big smile, full makeup, cozy sweater. Not exactly the vibe of someone fresh out of surgery. I double-checked the timestamp 7 minutes ago. If she was in a hospital, they must have started giving patients artisan coffee with faux art now. I sat back in my chair, phone still in hand, and just stared at the screen. My own mother had faked a car crash, a surgery, an emergency just to hustle me for money. And the part that really got me, she did not even put effort into it. No fake tears, no buildup, no emotional manipulation finesse, just an automatic, soulless lie like she was ordering takeout. That is how casual it had become. Weaponizing disasters to squeeze me like a bank account that cannot close. I did not call anyone. I did not text back. I just let that sit. The next morning, the group chat flared up with vague nonsense. My mom dropped a passive message. Thanks to everyone who came together yesterday, I am reminded why family matters. Translation, I did not get what I wanted from him, but I am still going to pretend the scam worked. Then Lisa posted, some of us just do more, and that is okay. I closed the app. I was not shocked anymore. I was done. This was not overreaction. This was calculated emotional fraud. This was my own mother faking an accident because my silence threatened their funding stream. I spent the next hour organizing screenshots. Every time they asked for money, every last-minute panic favor, every guilt text I had brushed off until now. I filed it all in a folder on my phone titled For Memory, not to shame them later, not to send it to anyone, just to make sure I never forgot how far they went when I stopped playing their scapegoat. That silence, that calm, it was not just satisfying, it was freeing. And the final hit came. Saturday night, my mom texted again. No dramatic opener this time, no fake emergency, just, can you help with rent this month? Things have been hard, everyone is doing their best. I stared at it, then typed, everyone's best looks a lot like my worst. I sent it. Mute. I did not even wait for her response. I blocked her number for the weekend just to enjoy 48 uninterrupted hours. Not because I was angry, because I was clear. The thing about cutting people off is that the silence does not hit them first, the consequences do. And when I stopped helping, I did not leave a note, no final warning. I just unplugged the power and walked away. It took about 2 weeks for the cracks to show. Then it all started crashing fast. The first one in the blast radius was my older sister, Amanda. She had been driving a car I technically co-signed for 2 years ago. Long story short, she could not qualify for a loan. She begged me to just put your name on it and said she would take care of everything. And for a while she did, until I pulled my name off quietly after the vacation stunt. I had the legal stuff finalized a month back. I gave her a heads up she ignored. I did not push it, I just got out. Well, turns out she was behind on payments, 3 to be exact. The dealership repossessed the car in broad daylight right outside her job. A coworker recorded the whole thing. She called my mom crying like a teenager who got grounded. Mom texted me, how could you do this to her? I did not call the repo guy, I just stopped babysitting her mess. That same weekend, I got a call from the electric company. My name was still on the account at Mom's house. I thought I had already switched it over to her. Guess not. She had not paid in 2 billing cycles. The balance was pushing $600. They were about to shut it off, so I paid it. No. I called them, took my name off immediately, and let the system handle it. That Monday, they lost power for 36 hours. Mom texted me something like, wow, you really do not care anymore, huh? She was right, I did not. Then came the bounced rent. My younger sister Taylor had been managing rent on a 2-bedroom place she shared with a friend, except she had been using money from the family pool to stay afloat. And the family pool? Yeah, that was basically me. Once I stopped wiring her anything, she fell short fast. Her roommate posted a passive-aggressive rant on Facebook. Some people are not built for adult responsibilities. Real subtle. Within 3 days, Taylor was back at Mom's house, sleeping on the couch and blaming a toxic living environment. I'm guessing the landlord did not buy that one either. By week 3, Aunt Lisa was listing furniture on Facebook Marketplace. That alone did not surprise me. What did surprise me was the description she used on a $90 used coffee table. Family going through hardship due to betrayal. Please help if you can. Betrayal. I read that while drinking coffee and almost spat it out. These people were so comfortable feeding off me for years that the moment the gravy train stopped, it became a betrayal. Here is the part that got twisted. One of them, still not sure who, tried to open a new credit card using my name. They still had some old mail, maybe enough for a week application. I got a fraud alert email, flagged it, denied it, locked it all down. I did not even confront anyone. If they wanted to play dirty, let them try. All they did was expose themselves harder. Next thing I hear, Mom's bank account got frozen for an overdraft. She called my aunt crying that she had to cancel an upcoming dental procedure because we are not all lucky enough to ignore family. The same woman who faked a car accident 2 weeks ago was now using cavities as moral leverage. By mid-month, my cousin messaged me on the side. Just for your information, they are trying to get Uncle Jay to pitch in now. They told him you cut everyone off for no reason. That day, Uncle Jay called me to laugh about it. He is not actually family, just an old friend of my dad's who stuck around every now and then, but had his own life and family. He is a solid guy, man. He said they really painted you as the villain. I told him I did not care. Let them, because here is the kicker. The moment I stopped funding the show, the whole set collapsed. No vacations, no rides, no help with bills, no insurance paperwork, no backup. They were not mad that I changed. They were mad they had to. One day, Taylor called me directly. First call from her in months. I let it ring straight to voicemail. She texted after, "Can we at least talk about why you were being like this? You used to help." Yeah, I used to, back when there was some mutual respect. Or at least the illusion of it. But after the lies, the scams, the entitlement, the silence was not revenge. It was sanity. Then came the hospital stunt. Not the fake one. This one was real. Aunt Lisa tripped at work and fractured her wrist. She needed outpatient surgery. Minor thing, but apparently the deductible was steep. She texted me this paragraph about how no one else can help right now. And I know you do not want to hear from us, but this is different. And different? When I broke my wrist 4 years ago, I paid out of pocket and got 0 calls, 0 support. They sent me a funny meme about how guys are bad at resting. I left her text on read, and that must have been the last straw for them because after that, they turned full delusional. Mom sent a message in the group chat, still muted on my end, saying, "We do not need anyone's help. Some people just want to see others fail when they stop being useful." Aunt Lisa commented under it with, "That is what happens when someone thinks money equals morals." They were trying to flip the narrative like they were the victims of some tyrannical dictator who took away their free lunch, like they had not lived years on autopilot, passing me bills and expecting me to smile and swipe. Then the cherry on top, they tried reaching out to my boss. I kid you not. Someone, probably Amanda, sent an email to my workplace's general inbox saying I had abandoned my sick mother and that it was affecting his mental well-being and focus at work. The email was so unhinged, Human Resources forwarded it to me and asked if I was okay. I laughed, said family drama, and they dropped it. That was the day I changed my number. No big speech, no dramatic goodbye, just done. Same city, same job, same apartment. But I cut everything that they used to reel me back in, and this time, for good, no more chances. It was not the, I am just going to ignore them, it is the, they do not exist to me anymore. I did not announce it. Let them keep texting into the void. Let them figure it out when their calls stopped going through and their group chat rants never landed. For the first time in years, I was not on standby. No midnight emergencies, no requests for bill help, no fake birthday guilt, just a clean, quiet line where there used to be chaos. The only one I still kept in touch with was Uncle Jay. He would call occasionally with updates, like giving me a sports recap of a team I had stopped rooting for. Apparently, Amanda is struggling with her commute, Taylor is eating through Mom's pantry like a plague of locusts, and Lisa is pawning furniture so fast the living room looks like a crime scene. He asked if I was good. I told him I was better than I had ever been. But deep down, I knew the silence would not last. This was not over. I knew it was not over. You do not unplug yourself from a whole system of manipulation and just expect them to let you walk away. Parasites do not give up their host that easy. It was a Saturday morning. I had the windows open, coffee on the counter, and some jazz playing low on my Bluetooth speaker. Peaceful, almost fake, considering the kind of year I had had. The air even smelled clean, that weird stillness you get when everything is just right. Then came the knock. Not a polite one, not a neighborly, "Hey, you got a second" kind of knock. This was fist on wood, full-blown aggression, someone trying to break rhythm more than make contact. I opened the door, and there she was, my mother. Not the version of her that used to bake cookies and force hugs. This was a different version. Hair wild, eyes locked on me like I had personally pushed her off a cliff, her mouth already moving before I could even say a word. "You really think this is how you treat family?" she snapped. You think you can just throw us all in the street and pretend like we do not exist? I blinked. No hi, no can we talk? Just immediate accusation like I had burned the house down and left a note saying, figure it out. I did not answer right away. I just looked at her, really looked at her. She looked tired, not tired from work or age, but tired like someone who had spent weeks lying, scrambling, blaming, and could not figure out why none of it worked anymore. Then I said, you chose this. That was it. Calm, steady, no yelling, and that is what set her off. You are just like your father. She hissed it like it was the ultimate insult. Cold, selfish, ungrateful. He walked out on this family, and now you are doing the same thing. I stayed in the doorway, arms crossed, not giving her an inch. Dad left because you treated him like garbage. I just figured it out sooner. She slapped me open palm right across the face. Not hard enough to knock me back, but hard enough that the music inside stopped feeling appropriate. I did not flinch. I just nodded slowly like a math equation had finally solved itself. That is all you had left, huh? I said. When the guilt stopped working, when the lies stopped landing, you went old school. She started pacing. Rambling. Something about Taylor having nowhere to go, Amanda being in debt because of me, Lisa not being able to get her life together because she is so stressed. Then she pointed to the street and barked, you are sitting here in your little apartment living your little life while your family is drowning. You mean the family that used me like a checkbook and left me out of everything unless something needed fixing? I asked. She did not answer. Instead, she grabbed the potted plant by my door, this ugly ceramic cactus someone from work gave me, and hurled it down the steps. Ceramic exploded, soil everywhere. I did not even blink. You think this makes you strong? She shouted. You think cutting everyone off makes you better? You are a coward, a spoiled little coward, just like your father. Then she started pulling stuff from the small patio table, tossed my ashtray, knocked over the folding chair, took her keys, and started scratching the paint on the railing. I stepped back, pulled my phone from my pocket. Still calm, she kept yelling, you will regret this. You will die alone just like him. Then she kicked the panel near my air conditioning unit. It cracked. Not even a big crack, just enough to be stupid. That is when I dialed, not to threaten, not to warn her. I called the cops, told them my mother was trespassing and vandalizing my property. I said it as flat as I would order lunch. She heard me. You are calling the police on your own mother, on the woman who faked a hospital emergency, tried to steal from me and just damaged my place? Yeah, that is what I am doing. You are disgusting, she spat. I learned from the best. I did not raise my voice. I did not match her crazy. I just let it burn through her that I was not the same kid who used to say yes to every guilt trip. I was not the same guy who bailed them out when they forgot to pay the water bill or accidentally used up their data plan streaming Netflix all month. I was done. The dispatcher stayed on the line, asked if she was still on the premises. I said yes. My mom stood there shaking, not crying, just raging like she could not figure out how someone like me, someone who always bent, suddenly would not break. I watched her deflate a little when she realized I was not bluffing, that police really were on the way. She backed off the porch, took a final look at me, then turned and stomped toward her car. Before getting in, she shouted, "Do not come crawling back when no one wants you." I stared at her, then said, "I would rather be unwanted than used." She sped off, tires squealed. Nothing dramatic, just the sound of someone out of control and needing to feel powerful again. 15 minutes later, 2 officers showed up, took a quick statement. I showed them the broken pot, the cracked panel, the scratch on the railing. I had it all on camera, too. My doorbell cam had caught the whole show in high definition. They offered to file a formal report. I told them yes, not because I wanted her arrested, but because I wanted a record. The next day, Uncle Jay called. He had heard. News moves fast when someone like my mom melts down in public. He was not surprised. He just asked if I was all right. Yeah, I told him. She finally showed me who she really is. He sighed, said, "Sometimes people are not mad that you stopped helping. They are mad you stopped believing they needed help in the first place." I hung up and stood in the middle of my living room, letting the quiet settle in. She was gone, not physically. She still existed, still lived 15 minutes away, but the illusion was gone. The idea that she would change or understand, or even just back off when I asked her to. All that died the moment she threw a flower pot and scratched my porch rail like a teenager keying an ex's car. That was the final break. No more texts, no more second chances, no more shared blood excuses. Just me standing in the wreckage of a family that expected me to hold everything together and hated me the moment I stopped. A week later and things still feel quiet. Not fake quiet, real quiet, no buzz on my phone, no fake emergencies, no guilt bombs wrapped in just checking in texts. It is like someone hit mute on a sitcom that ran too many seasons past its prime. After the cops came that day, I did not try to spin anything. I told the truth. She slapped me, keyed my porch rail, threw a pot at the steps, screamed like I was the devil. The officer wrote everything down, asked if I wanted to press charges. I said, no, just document it. I wanted something on paper in case she pulled this again. He nodded and left, but the damage was already done. That report, it shattered whatever fantasy she had about me always staying quiet. She did not get arrested, but she got warned officially, and she hated that. Uncle Jay told me she has been telling the family I ruined her life and sided with the law over blood. I guess in her mind, blood means immunity from consequences. Meanwhile, her meltdown became the final straw for everyone else. Lisa cut contact with her 2 days later. Apparently, she did not want to be associated with someone unstable enough to get cops involved. Amanda moved out temporarily, said she needed space, but really she is couch surfing now. Taylor is still stuck there, but barely speaks to Mom. The house is a powder keg with no one left to absorb the heat. And me, I am just watching it unravel from a distance. I changed my number, blocked every one of them except Uncle Jay. He is the only one who talks to me like I am human, not a debit card with legs. He gives me updates, but never tells me to fix it. He just says they are learning what it is like without you. Amanda tried texting me through a burner number, said I was cruel, said Mom's depression got worse, said Taylor had to take out a payday loan. I read it, deleted it. I have done enough saving. It is their turn now. The funny part is, when you finally set boundaries, people think you have changed, that you are bitter, that you have become the villain. No, I am the same guy who helped fix the fridge, paid for birthdays, booked the rental houses, handled bills, and listened to their messes. The only thing that changed, I stopped playing dumb. I started using my money on myself. Nothing flashy, just normal stuff, replacing worn-out sneakers, fixing the air conditioning in my car, ordering takeout without calculating if I would need to send cash to someone else that week. I finally booked a cabin up north. Solo trip, no group chat, no drama, no can you drive us. I sit outside most evenings now. It is weird not checking my phone every 5 minutes for another favor. It is almost too still. But then I remember that scratch on the porch rail, the one she left. I left it there. I could have sanded it off by now, but I do not. It reminds me how close I came to losing my peace again. Mom has not reached out since. No apologies, just silence. Probably still spinning the story her way. Probably still thinks I will break eventually. I will not. I am not mad anymore, not even sad, just done. Some people think silence means defeat. For me, it means I finally found my peace. As the curtain falls on this personal story, let us look at the bigger picture. The story may have ended, but its echoes open up a larger discussion about boundaries, loyalty, and the quiet ways families sometimes confuse love with obligation. Situations like this rarely appear overnight. They grow slowly, fed by years of unspoken expectations and social habits that teach people to endure for the sake of family harmony. In many households, sacrifice becomes so normalized that the person who gives the most slowly disappears into the background. The help becomes routine, the generosity becomes assumed, and appreciation quietly fades. When that happens, the role of family member can gradually shift into something else entirely: provider, fixer, safety net. What began as care turns into dependency, and dependency eventually breeds entitlement. The tragedy in stories like this is not only the manipulation itself, but the culture that allows it to hide behind words like loyalty and duty. The moment someone finally refuses that role, the system collapses, not because one person changed, but because the entire structure depended on their silence. When I step back from Nathan's experience, I cannot help but reflect on how many people quietly live in similar dynamics. Maybe not with the same dramatic confrontations, but with the same pattern: giving, waiting for recognition, and slowly realizing that the respect never comes. At some point, every person who finds themselves in that cycle faces a difficult truth. Breaking it will almost always look like betrayal to the people who benefited from it. Yet drawing a boundary is not the destruction of a family. It is often the first honest moment that family has ever faced. I think about the courage it takes to say enough, especially when the cost is loneliness, criticism, and the possibility of being labeled the villain. Many people never reach that point. They keep funding the peace, keep absorbing the tension, and keep telling themselves that endurance is the same thing as love. But sometimes the most responsible act is refusing to participate in a system that survives only because one person keeps sacrificing their dignity. And that brings us to the uncomfortable reflection that stories like this force upon us. When we hear about someone cutting ties, it is easy to judge from the outside. We are taught that family should be unconditional, that walking away is selfish, that forgiveness should come first. But those beliefs often ignore an equally important truth: relationships are meant to be mutual, not transactional. Respect cannot grow in a place where one person is valued only for what they provide. So when someone finally steps away, the silence they create is not cruelty, it is clarity. If you found yourself in Nathan's position, years of support given freely, only to realize you were valued more for your wallet than your presence, would you keep helping to preserve the appearance of family unity, or would you risk being called selfish and walk away to protect your own peace?